Liz, my name's Heather, and I'm going to be doing your musculoskeletal exam. So first I'm going to start off by looking at your TMJ joint or your jawbone joint. And first, if you can just open and close your mouth, great. And I'm listening and looking for any popping, clicking, or bulging. I didn't see that. And I'm also just looking, inspecting the symmetry of your neck. I don't see any, it looks aligned and straight and symmetrical. I don't see any skin folds that are asymmetrical. Now I'm going to palpate and I'm going to touch your TMJ. And if you can open and close, great. And now I'm going to touch your neck and palpate any tenderness. And I'm feeling for any tenderness or elicited tenderness, nodules, or edema. And I don't see or feel that. Now I'm going to move to the range of motion for your jaw. And you already opened and closed your mouth, so if you could jut your jaw forward and then back left to right, great. Now we're going to do neck range of motion, chin to chest, that's flexion. Bring your head back, extension, and then look over to your right shoulder, and then to your left, rotation, great. And then left ear to left shoulder, and then right ear to right shoulder, great. Now I'm going to assess the strength of your neck. So just push against my hand when I ask you to do the pushing. So flexion to the chest, great, and then back, awesome. And then look to your left, look to your right, and left ear to left shoulder, right ear to right. Okay, any pain or tenderness right there? Okay. Now I'm going to move to your shoulder. And first I'm going to inspect and I'm looking for the symmetry in your shoulders, looking to see that one isn't dislocated higher or lower than the other one, and I don't see any obvious signs of inflammation or nodules or masses that look abnormal. Now I'm going to palpate your sternal clavicular joint by first finding your notch and then moving over here. And then I'm going to go up the clavicle and find your acromioclavicular joint, your acromion, your coracoid process, your glenohumeral joint, your lesser and greater tubercles of your humerus, and then your bicipital groove. Great. Now we're going to do range of motion of your shoulders. Any tenderness when I was questioning? Now, so flexion is up, and then extension is behind, and then abduction and adduction, and then external rotation, and then to the small of your back, internal rotation. Great. And any pain or tenderness when you were doing? Now we're going to move for a strength. So put your hands in a T, please. And I'm going to try to press down, don't let me. Great. Now we're going to move to the elbow joint. And first I'm inspecting both elbows, making sure that they're symmetrical. I don't see any obvious signs of deformity or nodules. And now I am going to palpate. And I'm going to palpate the medial and lateral epicondyles of your elbow. And then your olacrine process, and feeling for any nodules or edema, or feeling if the bursa might be inflamed. Then I'm going to have you do range of motion, and first is flexion, great, and then extension. And then I'm going to hold here, and if you could face your palm up, and that's supination, and then palm down, pronation. Great. And now I'm going to test your strength. Try to flex like you're doing a bicep curl. Okay, and then push down. Awesome. Okay, now moving to your wrist joints and looking, I'm inspecting first, comparing. I don't see any nodules or maybe obvious signs of arthritis. And first I'm going to palpate your wrist joint. And does this elicit any tenderness? No. Okay, great. And now we're going to do range of motion of your wrist joint. So first is flexion, extension, and then move your hands laterally out and in. Great. Now I'm going to do the strength and push up for flexion and push down for extension. Now I'm also looking at your hands, so if you could put them out, and I'm looking to make sure she has all her digits. I don't see any swanning or nodules or erythema. And now I'm going to palpate her metacarpals, and then her metacarpal phalangeal joints here. And then I'm going to work down each finger, and I'm palpating for the PIP, which is the proximal interphalangeal joint, and then the DIP, the distal interphalangeal joint, on each finger. Okay, and then we're going to do range of motion. So first, just put your hands out, great, fist, and then out, and then palms up, one, and then just flexion, move your thumb out, and extension, and then move your thumb to your pinky is adduction and abduction, and then press at the base, that's opposition. Great. And I'm going to test for strength now. Don't let me close your hand. Great. Okay, now from there, I'm going to do your hip, assess your hips. So first I'm just going to push down, and please try to lift this leg up. Great. And then try to push it down. Push up. And now I'm going to assess the strength of your hamstrings and your quadricep. So first try to kick your leg out, and this is testing your quadriceps. And now pull your foot back. Great. And that's assessing your hamstrings. Now we're going to do adduction and abduction. So try to spread your knees apart. This is abduction. And then try to put knees together, and that's adduction. Great. Now you can go ahead and lay down. And first, I'm just inspecting from her hips to her feet, and I'm looking for leg symmetry, leg length, and any obvious signs of deformity or knock knees or both legs. And I don't see that. And then if you could flex your quads, I'm looking for the hollows of her knees on both sides. That's great. And then I'm going to palpate that. And then we are going to move to range of motion of the hip. So if you can bend this right knee, 90, and then lift it straight, that's flexion of the hip, and I'm making sure her other left leg is staying flat on the table. This is also assessing range of motion for the knee. Now we're going to do internal and external rotation. So internal rotation and external rotation. And then we're going to do abduction and then adduction. Great. Now I'm going to move on to her knee joint. And knee joint. And first, again, just inspecting her knee joint for any nodules or signs of tenderness, signs of inflammation. And then I'm going to palpate above and below her kneecap. And I'm feeling her patella, and I'm moving it left and right and up and down, passive range of motion. And then I'm feeling her patellar joint, or tendon rather, her MCL and her LCL, and also her lesser or medial and lateral.
So when you're doing the wrist, what are you checking the very first part?
Or her tibial cervical, tibial cervical, and then I'm going to move my hand down her shin to assess for any shin splints down her musculature, and also I would have palpated both legs to feel for her muscular tone and for any signs of atrophy. Great. Now I'm going to move on to the ankle joint, and first I'm just feeling her anterior ankle joint, and feeling her medial and lateral malleolus. I'm palpating for her Achilles tendon and I'm moving to the posterior and inferior calcaneus. I'm feeling her plantar fascia, and then I'm moving up just to compress her metatarsals, and then I'm going to her metatarsal heads, palpating each joint to assess for any nodules, tenderness, or abnormalities. And I'm also assessing that she has all of her digits or toes on both sides. Now we're going to do range of motion for her feet. So dorsiflexion is point your toes towards your face, and then plantar flexion, point down, great. And then inversion is heels together, and eversion is heels apart. Wonderful. And now we're going to assess for strength. So dorsiflex again, toes to face, and then plantar flexion, and then push into my hand, push into my hand. Great. Okay, that now you can go ahead and stand up. And I'm going to assess her spine. And first I'm just assessing her posture, looking to see if her shoulders and her hips and her head are all in alignment, which they are. Then I'm going to palpate from her vertebrae, from her cervical spine all the way down to her gluteal cleft. And I'm feeling for any signs of tenderness or nodules, any tenderness with that. And then I'm going to feel her paraspinatus spinosus musculature for any signs of spasticity, tenderness, or tightness. Any tenderness? Okay, great. Now I'm going to assess for scoliosis, and I'm going to have her bend forward. And I'm just looking and feeling for the curvature of her spine, making sure I don't see any lateral deviation of the spine or feel any lateral deviation. I'm looking at her scapula to make sure that they're even and there's no winging, and also that her shoulders are in line and symmetrical. And I'm going to be assessing this also while she stands up. Go ahead. Great. And so when she was bending forward, that was flexion. And so if you lean back, that's extension. Great. And then lateral bend, so to the right, and then to the left. Great. And then keeping your hips forward, still rotate to the right, and then rotate to the left. Wonderful. Now I'm going to move on to her hips. First is the anterior iliac crest. Then this up here is the iliac crest. And then the posterior superior iliac spine. And then if she juts out one hip, this is her greater trochanter. And then her sits bones are her ischial tuberosities, which are behind her gluteus medius there. And then right here where the dimpling is her sacroiliac joint. And I can feel the dimpling right there. Now she's going to kick one of her legs out, and this is checking for hip extension. And that concludes